Evan Welter is here now with the latest in DePaul sports. So Evan, the challenges keep coming for the DePaul women's soccer team.
Yeah, they've hit a bit of a rough patch lately. After a tie with St. John's and a loss to Providence, the DePaul women's soccer team looked to get back into the win column when they took on Georgetown at Wish Field.
Sunny day was full of Chicago baseball.
What a beautiful day it was, with both teams sitting atop their respective leagues. The White Sox and the Cubs look to keep rolling on their current hot streaks. The Blue Demons open up Dave Lato's second run as head coach at the school here at McGrath-Phillips Arena on November 7th. The team opens up Big East play on December 30th in Allstate Arena. Let's move now to women's basketball. The number 22 ranked Lady Blue Demons ended their exhibition schedule with a win over Lewis, 87-67. Post-graduation is a very tough time. The job market is not as big as it once was, and finding a job can be difficult. Thankfully, DePaul has many programs that can help you on your search. Finally, DePaul held its annual tip-off luncheon to officially kick off the basketball season. Good Day DePaul's Jenna Duddleston was there. Public safety patrols the area very closely, but cannot stop every crime. The best way for students to stay safe is to be alert and pay attention to their surroundings. When John Lester and Joe Madden signed with the Chicago Cubs this past offseason, people joked at why a big-name manager and an all-star pitcher would ever go and manage and play for a last-place team, a team that hasn't captured a championship since 1908. Fast forward to the end of this season, and everyone can see why. Brian Meeker, a DePaul grad student, says the season was a big deal for him and many fans.
It's difficult rooting for a team that is consistently not great, but you just keep going and you keep hoping. You just hope that it's going to keep getting better. And so when you see a team that starts to perform and starts to make it exciting to go to the games, instead of like, let's go to the Cubs game, it's like, let's go to the Cubs game. There's a really good chance they're going to win today. It makes you feel like your loyalty and your faith in the team is being rewarded finally.
Meeker, a diehard Cubs fan, moved a few blocks away from Wrigley Field several years ago, hoping that eventually he'd get to experience an atmosphere like the one during the playoffs this year.
I can hear the organ play from my apartment. I can hear the cheers of the crowd. I can hear the national anthem from my apartment, and that's magic. It's absolute magic, especially this season. It's great to see this many people here. It's wonderful. It makes this neighborhood come alive, honestly.
The addition of Lester, along with the promotion of Chris Bryant, Addison Russell, and Kyle Schwarber from the minor leagues, boosted the Cubs from the lovable losers of baseball to one of the most feared teams going forward. Meeker feels that with this core group of players, the team will be good for years to come.
This Cubs season meant hopefully the beginning of really good things. There's been a lot of talk over the years about development in the farm league, bringing up these younger players, trying to lay a foundation for the future. And this recent, 2 or 3 years has been this kind of sense like, let's build something that's going to last.
Although they were swept by the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series, there's more hope than ever for next year. As Meeker and many other fans hope, next year may actually be the year. It was all fun and games at the 6th annual Neighbors for Kids golf tournament on Saturday. The event took place at the Chinook Winds Golf Resort in Lincoln City, where many golfers took to the course to have a day of fun and to raise money for a good cause.
The golf tournament now is our largest annual fundraising event of the year. So we're in our 6th annual event, so now it's named the Kid Zone Classic. And what it does is it raises proceeds that go directly to programming. So it pays for the professional staffing costs, it pays for the equipment, the supplies. It allows us to raise that much needed operational funding so we can continue with the services we provide.
Around 100 golfers paid the entry fee to be in the event, but that wasn't the only way the charity raised money.
So there's various ways we're raising money. We have everything from putting contests to a raffle to the silent auction. We have hundreds of items that have been donated over the years and each year for the auction, and it's from all these different local businesses across Lincoln County.
The event coordinators brought in Hall of Fame linebacker Dave Wilcox as their celebrity guest. Wilcox came in place of Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Fouts, who had come to the event the past 3 years.
Dan had always come over here, and I've known Dan since he was 13 years old. He was a ball boy in San Francisco when I first started playing. But anyhow, he'd always come over here and he couldn't make it. And so we said, well, he asked us if we could help out. I said, yeah, we could do that.
With the help of all the golfers in Wilcox, the tournament had its most successful year financially in its 6-year history. All the money raised will go directly to services for the kids in the Neighbors for Kids program. After a 1-10 start, the DePaul men's soccer team turned their season around. They went 4-2-1 in their final 7 games to clinch their first Big East tournament since 2011. This turnaround was keyed by the outstanding goalkeeping from senior captain Mac Robinson.
He's been outstanding, consistent, and made the saves that he needed to make, and he's really been definitely a part of that backbone right up the spine that's given us that everyday consistency and to get the wins.
Robinson has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Big East this season. He's had 56 saves and only allowed 1.2 goals per game, making him 5th in each category in the conference. After battling through a tough injury in the offseason, Robinson says the team's turnaround has been extra special for him.
I tore my ACL back in February, and the drive to get back within the past 6 months and win the starting spot back and come back from 1-10. I mean, talk about a comeback story. That's an unreal feeling.
After Robinson's injury, Coach Blazer knew it could take some time for the senior captain to get back into top form, but never lost faith in his ability.
With Mac's injury in February, and he's a college student athlete, he's not a professional athlete, and for him to do what he did, to come back in such a short amount of time is awesome.
After getting back into top form during the team's turnaround, Robinson allowed only 6 goals in 7 games. He had a season-high 11 saves and a scoreless double overtime tie with Providence, and recorded 3 shutouts during the streak. He says a lot of factors contributed to the team's comeback.
I think it was just, we were tired. We were tired of losing, and sometimes all you need is a little bit of luck to turn the season around, and that's what we did. Maybe we got a pass or a goal that went our way, and we took advantage of it and made the best out of it and turned it into a pretty good Big East season.
No matter the outcome for the Blue Demons this season, it will always be a memorable one for Robinson and the team. When one thinks of surfing, the first place that tends to come to mind is Hawaii or California. However, there's one surf club that calls the cold waters along the Oregon coast home, and their main focus is to teach people how to safely surf in the area.
Tiger Star Surf Club is it's a group. It's a club for kids basically, and adults and parents, families. It's geared toward the kids and their families to get them acclimated and ready to surf in the ocean. We teach them safety and ocean skills that's needed to surf here in Oregon, the Pacific Northwest.
Keith Galbraith, a semi-pro surfer, paired up with Sky Anderson, a certified personal trainer, to create the club. Galbraith chose Lincoln City as the home base of the club not only because he lives here, but also because he wanted to help surrounding kids in the area keep out of trouble.
The demographics here in Lincoln City are terrible with it, impoverishment and homelessness and drug abuse, and it's like, we just want to say, hey, you guys, there's a lot of fun here. Let's, we can tap into. Yeah, we got to do a little bit of safety education, we got to get our fitness level a little bit better, but if we do all that, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Now in their 4th year, the club continues to get lots of backing from the community. Due to this, the program continues to expand.
The more community involvement, the stronger the program, and that's kind of what's helped us grow and what we hope to continue to do, is be a community program.
The group has many meetings and events scattered throughout the year. However, the events are not scheduled too far in advance.
We're random, just like the weather. You never know what's going to come next day. That's kind of how the club rolls. We try to plan, but for the most part, we go with the weather.
The best way to keep up to date with the club is to like the Tiger Shark Surf Club on Facebook or to visit the KLG Adventures website.